can never really find a good sound effect of a guy getting hit in the head with a shovel.
Good evening, sir. May I interest you in our soup de jour?
Shut the fuck up, you goddamn fuckhole! You piece of shit!
The Opie and Anthony Show.
He's coming. Why don't we get into the Vince McMahon thing, Anthony, okay?
All right.
We'll start with Paul. Paul, what's going on?
Tools, what's up?
Hey, buddy.
Listen, last night was Vince McMahon's wet dream come true.
Yeah, without a doubt.
He got to finally tell Ted Turner to shove it. He hates all those good old Southern wrestling boys.
Mm-hmm.
So he's finally taken over and doing what his daddy wanted him to do back in the day.
Let's just say this. Wrestling just got really good again.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
I mean, we've talked about it on the show, same storylines. We've been waiting for something, explosive to happen. Vince McMahon buying the WCW, it's just unbelievable.
Opie, Shane has it.
Oh, that's
right. I want to
Shane.
correct you.
Shane,
it wasn't
sorry.
Vince that bought it. Shane has it now.
Shane, right.
In a stunning upset, he kind of signed the contract.
I will be watching wrestling twice a week now for the next few months. No problem.
Well, man,
no problem.
Do you think he's bringing back some of those dinosaurs like Hogan and Nash and Flair, or what do you think he's going to do? He's going to get rid of those bumps?
He should parade them around to look like the buffoons that they are, like Hulk Hogan. And what's he going to come out to? I want to be a Hulkamaniac and telling the kids to take their.
Oh, no. Come back with the NWO wrestling against the WWF, like with Hogan, Nash, Hall, Steiner, Buff. And then, taking on, The Rock and Stone Cold and all those guys.
He's going to take the most popular wrestlers, or most of them, from the WCW, move them over to the WWF eventually, and make them just huger than life. But to begin with, I think this coming weekend on WrestleMania, I wouldn't be surprised if you see Goldberg and maybe the Hulkster.
Oh, you think so?
The Hulkster in Shane's corner. The place will just lose it.
But if Goldberg comes out, you will see the place just go crazy. Because even he had the crossover thing. A lot of the wrestlers don't cross over well, you know? If you're not going to see Jeff Jarrett coming back to...
No, we were talking about in the back office. Oof. Jeff Jarrett is odd man out. I feel bad for him. He was in the WWF, decided that the WCW could give him a better deal or whatever, so he left the WWF. And Vince made a point yesterday on the broadcast to pretty much tell Jeff Jarrett that he's fired.
He's done.
And that was as real as it gets.
You're fired.
He was spelling his new name, which is double G, double O, double N, double E. And that was the real Vince rubbing it in.
Oh, yeah.
And he finally got back at Jeff Jarrett.
You could tell there's the Vince character last night, but a lot of his real personality was coming through.
Yeah. Tim, what's going on? Tim! Hey, he waited way too long. But if you weren't watching TV yesterday, even if you're a slight wrestling fan, it was just amazing TV because Vince McMahon did a simulcast on his WWF broadcast and also on the WCW broadcast.
Mm-hmm.
They have been competing against each other on Monday nights for a very long time.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, Vince is talking to the WCW audience and the WWF audience. I don't know if you realize how huge that is.
It was weird.
Because they've been at each other's throats for many, many years.
Yeah. Just hatred.
Here's the announcement. Here's Vince McMahon from last night.
For the first time ever in sports entertainment history, this broadcast is not only being seen here on TNN and Cleveland, Ohio, but it's also being seen across TNN.
What an idiot. Hold it
Turner
right there.
Network.
He screwed up. He couldn't even get it right. It's TNN, is the Nashville or the National Network. Oh, yeah, boy, I'm fooled.
Yeah, TNN is WWF and TNT is WCW.
So he meant to say TNT, and he says TNN again. Nice move, Vince, you jackass.
Television. Now, there's only one way that can happen. There's only one way and one man that can make history like this happen.
Who's that, Vince?
Obviously, you all know I have acquired WCW. That's right, I bought my competition.
Just think of the storylines now that he has done that.
Yeah, opens it way up. Unbelievable.
Mark, what's going on?
Hey, guys, what's up?
Hey.
Listen, picture this. Vince McMahon's wife comes out, starts making out with Ted Turner right in the middle of the ring. And Shane stands over and goes, now I got you, Dad.
Yeah.
I don't think you're going to see Ted Turner making any appearances. I really don't think so.
You know, but there's so many possibilities. I would be really surprised if Vince doesn't break out something just huge now for WrestleMania this coming
Oh,
season.
yeah, there's a bunch of options
just
open up
over
for him
the
to
top,
do that.
huge.
Yeah.
Something big. I cannot wait to check out WrestleMania now.
Yeah.
Haven't been this excited about wrestling in about a year. Some more audio from Vince from last night.
Time Warner is practically begging me. They're practically begging me to buy WCW, and I have agreed.
Oscar, what's going on?
Hey, what's up, fellas?
Hey.
Yo, awesome stuff last night. What, for starters, the contracts that Vince isn't going to pick up, guys like Goldberg, Kevin Nash, Scott Steiner, they all have guaranteed contracts.
Right.
He's not picking those up.
How do you know that?
Because, it's just not worth it for him money-wise, because now there's other guys that have like 90-day contracts, those he can renegotiate. But these other guys, they're being paid to sit at home.
Oscar, yeah, but Vince has all the power. I mean, where's someone like Goldberg going to wrestle if he decides not to wrestle?
Well, he hasn't been on TV for 3 months. Goldberg is basically lazy. He always treats wrestling like if it's like his second job.
Well, that's why the WCW sucked. But Vince is going to turn all these guys around.
Exactly.
You either come in WWF and play by my rules, or all right, you leave wrestling. Whatever, I don't need you.
Exactly. But
and you watch how most of these guys, do whatever Vince says.
Well, Kevin Nash is on record that he's going to stay at home.
Well,
for the next 10 months.
The WWF does not need a Kevin Nash, okay?
Oh, no doubt.
They need Goldberg. They need Booker T, Puff Daddy, Big Papa Pump. Those are the guys they want to go after.
Papa Pump is like a cripple, and he's more famous for beating people up backstage than beating them up in the ring.
Well, whatever. It's a whole new ball game.
Oh, no doubt.
We'll have to wait and see.
Later, guys.
All right, man. Some more audio.
Time Warner, they've signed the contract, and I will sign the contract. But I'll sign it this Sunday on pay-per-view at WrestleMania. And I'll sign it when Ted Turner himself walks down the aisle at WrestleMania and delivers a contract in front of me.
He's so cocky, man. I love it. Tommy, what's up?
What's doing, boys?
Hey.
That whole thing with Jeff Jarrett was basically, remember there was a pay-per-view, I think last year, right before he went to WCW, where he lost to China, the Intercontinental Belt?
Yeah, okay, I remember.
Okay, well, his contract expired that Saturday. The pay-per-view was that Sunday, and the only way that he would show up is if he had a one-day extension, and he agreed on $250,000 to be there. That's why Vince is doing this to him now, because there's no way, because he would have left with the belt and went to WCW with the belt.
Oh, he squeezed him.
Exactly. So now Vince is like, now what are you going to do?
Yeah. You will not see Jeff Jarrett.
No, and then also tomorrow night, I don't know if you guys know yet, but SmackDown's actually being taped tonight. Shawn Michaels is coming out too.
Come on.
So yeah, for WrestleMania, so it's going to be crazy this week. And when Shane fights Vince, don't be shocked to see WCW guys come get Shane's back.
Oh, hell yeah. Well, we know that already. We're just wondering who's going to come out.
Yeah,
to get his back.
I'm here on Goldberg.
But we can take your word for it. Shawn Michaels comes back on SmackDown Thursday.
Guarantee it.
And Mankind came back last night.
Oh, yeah.
This is shaping up to be an insane WrestleMania.
Well, you never know. You might see Mick Foley go with Shane and maybe start a WCW thing, considering Vince screwed Shane. There's so much that's going to happen.
You know what could happen? I hope we're not boring people, but this was a huge night for wrestling. Shane could ask Mankind to be the commissioner of WCW.
Oh, yeah.
You got a lot of things going back and forth. It's going to be great. The next couple of years is going to be great now.
All right, Tommy.
Later, buddy.
Yeah, they'll play this out for at least a year where it's Shane. Shane controls one league and Vince the WWF.
But it's all the same.
Well, we all know.
It's a great storyline for them because now they could pit it against each other like they're still competitors.
Right.
Yet they're owned by Vince.
And then they could just weed out who wants to play and who doesn't want to play, and eventually it'll just be the WWF again.
Yeah.
Now then, some would say, geez, Vince, how did you do it? How did you do it, Vince? I mean, you were up against this media conglomerate, Time Warner. You're up against a billionaire. I mean, how could you possibly do this? How can you possibly beat a billionaire? Well, there's only one answer to that. And that's become one yourself.
He's not too modest, is he?
You know, a little insight, Anthony, because we've been through this.
Yeah.
I don't even know if anyone's going to care, but just to show you how like kind of sad it is for anyone that worked for the WCW and having Vince on your airwaves, you know, talking about how he just bought you. That's what happened to us in Boston, with the company we now work for.
Oh, yeah.
We were at each other's throats in Boston with WBCN. It was AAF against BCN. We hated each other, kind of like WCW and WWF, you know, and always going at each other. And one day we get the word that BCN bought us, or BCN's parent company, which is, you know, CBS.
CBS bought the station we were working for, so then all of a sudden they're like, ha,
they're on the air.
We own you.
They're on the air just rubbing it in, and there was nothing we could do. It sucked.
They sent a fax over to us, big CBS sign, and it said, "Welcome home, mother effers." Nice.
It wasn't fun. It sucked. We were so dejected. So we decided to tell the town the mayor died in a car accident. We got out.
But you got to understand what it means to be a competitor. Nobody understands that better than I do. Because you have to grab your competition by the throat, and you've got to squeeze the life out of your competition. Just like I did to WCW.
See, now that is the Vince character, but there's a lot of the real Vince coming through right there.
You know what? I love that. You do have to just squeeze it out of...
Squeeze it! It's like you're choking the chicken.
Yeah, we can relate to that. Steve, what's going on?
What's up?
Hey.
Yo, like you said, Vince was, you know, just being Vince, but a lot of what he said was, you know, true, right?
Oh, yeah.
But, you know, I have a big problem with him putting down the Hulkster like that.
The what?
The Hulkster.
He's playing.
Dude, he's so lame.
He's already playing the storyline. I will bet as much money as you want to put up that the Hulk is coming back very soon.
That's right, brother.
Well, will he be in the ring doing that stupid leg drop or something? No, but I mean, you know, they're great at writing storylines, and they'll figure out something cool for Hulk. It would just be amazing to see him back.
I hope so.
Even if it's just for a short time, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he was making fun of the Hulk in the ring, doing his moves and stuff. That was really
great.
funny. All right, Steve, thanks. What? Did he curse? I don't even know.
No, I think he just went.
Scott, what's up?
What's going on? I wanted to know, with Vince McMahon, like, trying to trash Ted Turner and his network and wrestling outfit there, I'm not really interested in that much, but I was wondering, does Ted Turner really care that much that he's losing
Of course
his
not.
interest?
No, he doesn't care.
Because I would think with his baseball interest and the overall TNT network that he owns, I think, that he really was like, all right, whatever, I'll come down and I'll sign the contract. Here you go.
I think it's more of a big deal to Vince than it is to Ted Turner.
Okay, I was just wondering, because knowing what Ted Turner's had in the past, I really don't think that he would be too depressed.
But it still makes for great stuff.
That is true.
But,
you know, Vince should just take it and ride it and see what he can get out of it, and there you go.
All right, man.
All right, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Right.
I don't care. I'm still making tons of money with my goddamn Beverly Hillbillies rerun. You can't beat the goddamn Beverly Hillbillies rerun.
Let's see, more Vince audio. Here he is gloating.
I had a choice to make tonight. That choice was coming here before you in Cleveland and quite frankly, gloating, which I think I'm doing a very good job of at the moment.
Yeah?
You know what? He didn't have to get into character last night.
You know, he was just loving it.
Yeah.
How appropriate is it that WCW's last broadcast is in a beer hall? How appropriate is that? Surrounded by a bunch of beer-drinking rednecks. There are obviously a few here tonight.
It's your audience, Vince. Jesus.
See, he's putting down the WCW and you know, on their broadcast, because they simulcasted this thing last night. That is just great.
And you think if there wasn't some huge angle to play there, he would just be bashing the league he just fought?
Yeah.
No, it's about the whole thing with the battle of him and Shane.
You know what's amazing with Vince McMahon, too? Just when you thought he was down and out, I mean, it's pretty obvious the XFL's, going to be off NBC very, very soon. And
really?
Like,
why? What happened?
And it looks like Vince took a major hit. He turns around, gets up like he said in the interview, dusts himself off and moves on. This is huge.
I keep waiting for the phone to ring and XFL Game Day's coming back.
Yeah.
Right, Opie?
This is huge for business.
Yeah.
This is what he had to say about the wrestlers at the WCW.
But nonetheless, I've opted to come before you here as opposed to walking in the ring and lining each and every one of those stars up. Every single one of them. So I can look right in their face and say, Goldberg, Booker T, and all the rest of them, to look them right in the face and say, you're fired.
The famous Vince, you're fired. That is the best you're fired.
We just found a brand new clip that you'll hear 1,000 times.
You're fired.
Gary.
Hey guys, what's going on?
Hey.
Love the show, great road show last week.
Yeah, we rocked.
I don't think you're going to see Goldberg. I think he's still hurt, and I think he's just going to sit back at least for now and take his money.
I don't know about that. These guys want the fame.
Did you guys?
Besides the fortune, they want the fame.
True.
And they know what the WWF could deliver. And if he's injured, they'll still write him in somehow.
True. Did you guys catch the last match on WCW?
Yeah, with Ric Flair and Sting.
How pathetic was that?
Oh, God, it just looks... There's some guy in his wacky Sting makeup beating up an old man.
Helping him do every single move, because Flair's like a decrepit old man already.
Well, they brought Flair back, I guess, because he hasn't wrestled in a while.
He hasn't fought in a while.
He had his T-shirt on because God knows what that body looks like. Yeah, it was pretty sad. And then they shook hands, and that was it. That's the end of the WCW as you know it.
You think Vince may bring Sting over?
I think so.
Because there's not much. I mean, if you go through the talent, there's not much. I mean, all them young flying kids, he doesn't need them.
No,
they're all gone.
He needs Goldberg and the Puff Bagwell.
He's just taking the stars. He's not going to be paying all those other slouches.
Yeah, 'cause I don't know if he's going to bring Steiner. Supposedly he can't stand Steiner.
Well, with Shane taking over the WCW, we were talking about this in the hall with Ron and Fez, who are huge wrestling fans. If you're in the building and they want to come in for the rest of this break, come on in. They're saying some of the wrestlers that just aren't getting their time in the WWF but are pretty cool, like Val Venus and a bunch of those guys.
Right.
They can move them over to the wink wink nudge nudge WCW league that Shane is going to control for a while.
True.
And they'll get a hell of a lot more airtime and stuff.
All this really amounts to is Shane. You know how they have their little factions. You know, that they come up with a faction and all of a sudden it's like DX. There's a little faction of guys and Shane is in charge of one of these things. That's all WCW is now.
True.
It's another gang. So you're going to see people from WWF going over to WCW, even though they're not really going over to WCW. But
that's true.
This is how it's going to play out. It's pretty obvious. Yeah, Shane controls the WCW. They're going to work the storyline with the WCW wrestlers as they are now, okay? And then when that gets a little old and tired out, you'll see some of the WWF wrestlers, of course.
Well, you're going to see stuff like, hey, Vince, I can't stand you. Shane offered me more money. I'm going over to WCW.
Right.
Meanwhile, they're not going anywhere. They're still on the WWF, but it's just to get the battle lines between.
So what do you
Vince
think? They set up SummerSlam Vince versus Shane for total control?
That you're going to say.
And I discussed that. I think that's going to be at least a year away.
Cool.
They're going to play out this angle for a while, and then when it starts getting old, they'll wrestle for control of the whole damn thing.
Keep it up, you guys rock.
All right, thank you.
And that's exactly what's going to happen because WCW is going on the shelf. It's going nowhere. WCW is buried. Buried. I deserve more respect than that.
They're booing.
Damn it, I'm Vince McMahon. Damn it, I own WCW. I own the WWF, and you will treat me with respect. Or I'll walk out of this arena.
All right. So this is where it gets interesting. You want to fill everyone in where we're at? The simulcast that was on WWF and WCW last night.
Yeah, so Vince is there in front of the WWF crowd, and he's spouting everything you've just heard about how he owns WCW, blah, blah, blah. He's signing the contract at WrestleMania to close the deal. And then the music hits, and Shane starts making his way into the WCW ring.
Right.
During Nitro.
Right.
Which was simulcast. You know, they were broadcast at the same time.
Vince left it. He said that he bought the WCW, but it's not official because he's going to sign the contract in front of Ted Turner at WrestleMania.
Yeah, so Shane comes out, and Vince makes that cartoon I'm scared face.
And the exaggerated gulp.
Yeah, the gulp. I think he got some pointers on how to make that look from Bob Costas the other night. Just look like you're scared, S-less, and gulp.
And this is what happened, which was a lot of fun to check out last night.
What's up, Vince? Surprise, Dad. You're in Cleveland, Ohio. And I'm here in Panama City Beach, Florida.
Yeah, because when they played Shane's music, Vince assumed he was coming out to meet him in the ring, and all of a sudden he's on the big screen, and Vince is like, "Where are you?" And he's in Panama City. That's where the WCW event was going on. So there's Shane in a WCW ring, which is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Because they've been at each other's throats for so long.
Picture us going, over to a certain station in this city. Picture that. That's what this was like.
Well, Anthony.
Like, hi, how you doing?
As we saw last night, anything is possible.
Anything's possible. You're fired.
No one's putting us on the shelf.
A phlegm contest.
All right, here's the announcement that just blew everyone away last night.
The deal is finalized with WCW. And the name on the contract does say McMahon. However, the contract reads Shane McMahon.
And then the face Vince made there. What an actor this guy is. He should have won an Academy Award, Vince, for his acting ability. He made the surprise look there, where his eyes flew open. His mouth is agape.
I was trying to figure out how they were going to spin it last night. I really wasn't thinking the Shane angle, and it just sets up for some great storylines in the coming months. And that was pretty much it.
I liked
what, Rick?
I liked at the end after Shane's done doing all his talking, and Vince is walking around the stage. It's like he's a drunk, staggering around looking for another drink or something. He's just
He left the ring. He just dropped the mic in the ring. He's walking around like, but I owned the league. I was saying I was going to sign the contract. How did Shane get how did that happen? And then Jeannie was there and Major Nelson. But he's done it to me again.
West Coast Dave. Let's see what he has to say. West Coast Dave.
What's up, guys?
Hey.
This whole WWF buying the WCW thing was a bad business move. The WCW is a friggin' hole. They were going to cancel it. It was losing $80 million a year.
No, someone is going to buy it. He just bought his competition. How is that ever stupid?
Well, why? Because why would he buy a losing venture? Because nobody was watching the damn. They were going to cancel it.
Dude, he liquidates it and just makes it a part of the WWF. So it's not really WCW. Isn't really there. He eliminates his competition. He gets a couple of superstars people want to see.
No, but it was a waste of money. It was going to go away anyway. The competition was going to be gone anyhow. You hear me? The show was going to be canceled.
Dave, we're hearing you, but if you want to argue this, listen to us, okay?
All right.
Yeah, the league did suck, the ratings sucked, and it looked like it was going away, but someone was going to buy the WCW, and you don't know what they're going to do. They could have turned it around and made it a huge money winner again.
Right.
So instead, Vince buys his competition.
So you're saying Vince bought it to prevent somebody else from buying?
Yeah, possibly, and now he gets to take the superstars that matter. You know how hard it is to build up a guy from scratch to like a Goldberg?
No, I hear you.
So then, all right, say there's another league that comes about. It's going to take years for them to develop talent like Goldberg and Stone Cold and The Rock and Triple H and the rest of them.
I see what you're saying.
It's brilliant.
I don't know, man. I'm not so sure about that. Between that and the XFL, the XFL really just that kind of caused me to lose faith in Vince and abilities, I guess.
Yeah, but then he turns around and does this.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess it's a good idea. Maybe it'll pan out.
You got to study the book of Vince. I mean, everyone thought he was down and out in the early 90s.
Yeah, good point.
I mean, this guy, don't ever count him out.
Yeah. All right, well, we'll see.
I mean, and plus everyone's talking about it in the wrestling circles, the storylines. I mean, you watch, the pay-per-views are going to go through the roof now.
All right, syndication soon. You guys suck.
I bet this is going to be the biggest pay-per-view they've ever had.
Coming up Sunday?
I bet this is the biggest, the largest audience pay-per-view that they've ever had for WWF. Guaranteed. Guaranteed.
There you have it.
There's that word again.
All right, Anthony, we got to take a break.
What is this?
All right, what's the problem?
Oh, boy.
What's the problem? What's the problem?
The Emperor is not happy with his coffee.
Oh, no. Are we going to have to break into,
Jim Norton. Coffee Diva. Coffee Diva.
Look at that cup. What brand is on that cup?
I don't know.
It doesn't taste good. I don't like it.
Where do we get our coffee every day?
I like Starbucks.
I like Starbucks.
And I don't like supporting the savages that run most of these delis.
You're insane.
Yup.
You betcha. You might be right.
Yeah.
What is this?
You want to taste this?
Wow, that's really nice.
What?
Throw it against the wall.
I'm not
I'm a diva.
I want Starbucks coffee.
You betcha.
Jim Norton. Coffee Diva. Coffee Diva.
I know Starbucks is a big world order type of thing.
At least they're not funding terrorism.
I was walking down the street, and some construction guy was shouting at me, "Hey, show me your cans!" So I did. And he plummeted 17 floors and was impaled on a forklift. But my tits looked great.
Please, wow responsibly. A public service announcement of the Opie and Anthony Show.
It's the O&A virus.